Coral Bleaching by Emma, Ilaria, and Grace.
What is coral?
Susan Philly, otherwise known as Zooks. We corals love these little guys. Oh, yes we do. We love you. Actually, technically speaking, Zooks are plants, which is cool because like plants, they harvest light from the sun. And guess what that means for us? You guessed it. Food. You're always thinking about your stomach, Trev. But it's more than just that. These guys add colour to our lives. No, seriously. I mean, they literally provide us with the colours that make us look so great.
Oh yeah, work it, own it. Oh, you're so hot. I love it.
Without our Zooks, we feel, well, naked.
Oh no! Where are my Zooks? Those people, they can see right through me. How embarrassing!
Okay, folks, so let's get real. It's time to cut to the chase. I'm here today to ask for your help. You see, you humans are burning up dead dinosaurs in the form of fossil fuels. Well, they're dead anyway, so it's no skin off their back. Why kill me? Oh, no, wait, you kill me. No, never mind. Anyway, the point is that this is bad news for us corals and our little friends, the Zooks. See, all that CO2 on land is really turning up the heat here in the ocean. And you know what they say, when the going gets tough, the Zooks get going. That's right, the poor little fellas are actually quite sensitive, and just the teeniest bit of a heat rush,
Like a good workout or climate change. Hello?
causes them to pack their bags and leave us like yesterday's dirty laundry, which is bad because we need them. Do you people understand what I'm telling you? Imagine every time you forget to turn off a light, set your air conditioner too low, or drive a car somewhere you could walk to, you're making our lives miserable. Just think, a life without colour. Permanent embarrassment.
I'll never get a date now.
And dare I say it, even... No, it's too terrible. I can't say it. So, now that you understand the extent of the problem, we hope you'll join our Adopt a Zooks program. For the small price of turning off a light when you leave a room, turning off your tap when you brush your teeth, or walking to work or school one day a week, you can help save the life of a Zooks. Your pledge to help conserve energy will make a difference to Zooks and corals everywhere.
This message is brought to you by the Susan Philly Conservation Society, an initiative of Corals for a Cooler Scene. No Susan Philly were harmed during the making of this commercial.
What is coral? They are sessile or rooted to the ocean floor despite being animals. Because they don't make their own food, they're not plants. Coral are found in circumtropical shallow waters. There are algae called zooxanthellae that have a special symbiotic relationship with coral, living their tissues. They are essential to the coral's life because the algae provide food through carbohydrates they produce through photosynthesis, producing up to 90% of the energy required by corals to grow and reproduce. How does coral bleaching happen? When coral reefs get too hot or another serious condition, they become stressed, and zooxanthellae, which give coral much of their color, breaks down. Without the zooxanthellae, the tissue of the coral animal appears transparent and the coral's bright white skeleton is revealed. Corals are starved and cannot survive long term without the zooxanthellae. A healthy reef can either resist a stressful event like bleaching or recover from it.
What are the ecological causes of coral bleaching? Temperature, solar irradiance and subaerial exposure, which is exposure to the atmosphere and the sun, and also sedimentation, freshwater dilution, and inorganic nutrients all affect coral. What can we do to fix coral bleaching? Jennifer Koss of NOAA Coral Reef Conservation Program said, to solve the long-term global problem, however, we need to better understand how to reduce the unnatural carbon dioxide levels that are the major driver of the warming.
Some of the direct ways to help the coral include recycling, conserving water, limiting your carbon footprint, and visiting a local aquarium for more information about coral near you. However, more direct ways to support the world's coral are: don't anchor a boat on the coral reef, use mooring buoy system instead. If you dive, do not touch the coral reefs, only take pictures of them. Don't pollute the water by littering, and minimize the use of chemically enhanced fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, and herbicides.
As we've stated before, the coral symbiodinium, which is a type of zooxanthellae relationship, can be stressed during periods of unusually high temperature and light. However, there is stress-tolerant symbiodinium that can minimize coral bleaching and mortality, and therefore ongoing research is occurring about the physiology and host specificity of these symbionts. One of the most important ways to restore the coral reefs of the world is through coral nurseries.
Scientists are raising coral in laboratories under different conditions such as high temperatures, acidity, and ultraviolet light. After the corals are breeded in these different conditions, they are planted back into the sea. In 2009, the Nature controversy began to grow over 30,000 young coral in underwater nurseries in Florida and the Caribbean to be transplanted. One design for the artificial coral is an electrical cage, which incorporates an electric current, which ultimately stimulates the coral growth. The electricity on the cage triggers a chemical reaction on the corals, which draws calcium carbonate out of the solution in the water and gets deposited on the cage. The corals love this reaction because they use the same reaction to grow their protective skeletons. Electric coral reefs may also make the corals more suitable to warming events such as El Nino. The Coral Restoration Foundation has restored over 100 genotypes of staghorn corals, which are a cylindrically branching asexual species. They have research goals of determining ecological success of coral reefs, ideal restoration locations, and how surrounding organisms affect restoration success.
A coral is a colony of individual polyps, little tiny creatures, and basically each one can more or less survive on its own. So if you take a few of those off and are able to put them into a nursery setup where they're going to be separated from all of the problems that would normally kill such a small piece, they'll grow. In the absence of fish, Jamaica and most of the Caribbean is largely overfished. So what we do is we go in and through a process that's called coral gardening, we harvest small amounts of coral from the reef, put those pieces into the nursery, grow them for a period of time, and then either refragment them to put into a new nursery or plant them out. And what you get by raising the coral off the ground and putting it into the nursery is you're separating it from the vast majority of its problems. We go in and we basically play the role of a fish. So we'll go in and physically remove snails, worms, algae, and keep that coral in a condition that it's going to continue to grow and be happy even on the bottom. GoldenEye has given us an opportunity to basically try the method on a large scale and make it work. Guests can literally participate. They can take the piece of coral out of the nursery, go to the spot, prepare the substrate, plant that piece of coral. We can take pictures, and we can map where it is, and then monitor that piece of coral over time and send you an email update and watch it grow. These are all opportunities you can do with this kind of tourism that you can't do with regular bread and butter tourism. It's just really fun.
And our works cited page for the Coral Bleaching project.